48 hours removed from a blowout loss to the Miami Dolphins, and you got to remain on the road and play a pissed off Buffalo team who just lost in overtime. Yeah, our defense isn't ready for that. But listen, if you're a Browns fan, you're probably asking yourself, how can our defense be this bad? Why are we this bad? This was supposed to be our strength. With Deshaun Watson missing 11 games, we kind of knew that asking Jacoby Brissett to do a lot, we're asking Jacoby Brissett to do a lot. So, why is our defense not where it's supposed to be? Is it Joe Woods? Is it the heart? What's going on? Well, I'm going to tell you what it is and what we need to do in the 2023 NFL Draft. So stay tuned for another episode of the Sports Minute. Cleveland Browns struggle against teams that can mix it up. Against the LA Chargers, they were the bottom of the league in rushing, but they were number one in passing. Well, then they switched it up and they ran all over them, and look what you got. 238 yards allowed against the run in that game. The Atlanta Falcons, who have been rebuilding for the last couple of years but have shown glimpses of talent, ran for almost 200 yards against the Cleveland Browns. The Miami Dolphins came into the league last in rushing attempts. They finished with 195 yards. And I'm going to tell you what the problem is. The battle is being lost in the trenches. The Browns, have no depth at defensive tackle. And I think that's what the biggest problem is. They're not getting pressure at the line of scrimmage. They are losing at the line of scrimmage, which puts pressure on the secondary to come up and stop the run. You got the secondary, you got the talent to defend the pass. They're good against the pass, but when it comes to the run, without that defensive tackle depth, they're going to continue to struggle all season long. And that's something that probably won't be addressed until the offseason. So it's going to be tough. And a lot of people say, well, Deshaun Watson's going to come back and fix this. Newsflash, Deshaun Watson does not play defense. You know, it's the lack of depth in defensive tackle. And it kind of sucks because that's one of the reasons you brought in Jadeveon Clowney, who was really good against the run while he was in Houston, and it seems like he's just non-existent. I mean, long story short, this Browns defense is allowing roughly 200 yards a game on the ground. But even more importantly than that, you kind of knew, since we're on the subject of Watson, and since I brought that up, you knew this season was kind of going to be a wash. Once they extended his suspension from 6 games to 11 games, you kind of knew that it's not going to be a great year. You're going to have to take it on the chin. You knew that this year was going to be a bit of a struggle, but for real, there are brighter days ahead, I believe. It's just going to take some time, and you can't rush this process. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments as always. I'm Rico McGee. This has been the Sports Minute. All right? In a minute.